What's up, everybody? It's your man's KJ the Great, and we are back. All Sports Media TV, and y'all know what it is, man. It's fight week, baby. So let's get into it. But first things first, y'all know I do this every time. Protect women's sports. We are talking women's sports. Keep women's sports, women's sports. No man should be involved in women's sports. No woman should be competing in men's sports. Let's just keep it on that level. But we are finna talk about the one, the only, Claressa T Rex Shields, the GOAT, and her opponent, Vanessa LePage Jonas, excuse me. It's going down July 27th in Detroit. Claressa Shields will be moving up in weight. She'll be moving up from 160 to to heavyweight. Excuse me. I believe heavyweight is for women is 175 and above, 168 and above, I believe, something like that. She'll be moving up, excuse me, to take on the WBC heavyweight champion Vanessa LePage. Jonas. Now, I was trying to figure out some things. I did some digging, but I didn't get too much info back. But she'll be taking her on for that WBC heavyweight title, and I believe the WBA light heavyweight title will be on the line. So I asked the question, would that make her a 5 division champion? Or would it just be 4 divisions since they haven't really figured out, all across the board for women's heavyweight divisions yet? I think it'll make her a 5 division champion. That's just my opinion. Because if you win the light heavyweight title and the heavyweight title, that's 2 different divisions. That would make her a 5 division champion. Already a 3 division champion, 2-time undisputed 2 division champion, undisputed twice in the same weight class, 2 separate times, unified at at super middleweight. Like I said before, 14 wins, no losses, no draw, 2 wins by way of knockout. Not the biggest puncher, but definitely some of the fastest hands, best combinations, best footwork, best defensive skills, head movement, all of that you can put into a package of a woman, and she's got it. Now I went and I did do some digging on Vanessa LePage Jonas. She's 7 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 2 wins by way of knockout. Um, had a little bit of a hiatus in between there, so not the most active of boxers. She's been active this year, but prior she coming off of a layoff. I think she had excuse me, 2 fights this year. Her last fight was a split decision over Abrel Vidal. Good win for her. She didn't really separate herself at all. Nothing that I would say was more of a cause for concern for Claressa Shields. Now, in Claressa Shields' last fight, she fought Maricela Conejo. Originally, she was supposed to fight La Amazona Negra, Hannah Gabriels, but that fight fell through due to a positive drug test that Hannah Gabriels failed. Now, I did get the information on that drug test directly from Hannah Gabriel. So if you haven't watched that interview that I did with her, go to the YouTube channel down in the description box, find that link, and you can watch that video and listen and hear her explain her side of things, because I think it was interesting. And I think, stuff like that happens. So, but nonetheless, this fight here, what are we talking about in this fight? What does Claressa Shields bring to this fight? What does Vanessa LePage bring to this fight? Now, I just kind of explained what Claressa Shields is. Let's talk about Vanessa LePage. She's a come forward type fighter. She definitely has a tendency that I've seen in the few fights that I've watched. She can maul her opponents, kind of come in throwing punches and kind of lay on them a little bit. So that could be possibly a challenge for Claressa Shields at this weight, because it's 170 and up, or maybe it can work to her advantage. She comes in just a bit underweight and is able to move and stay out of the line of fire. Now, my prediction is if Claressa Shields can show her growth and ability to turn her punches over, added with the weight, she could possibly get her third knockout. Now, granted, there have been some fights where she fought other fighters and it was like, man, they are on their bicycle. Ref, take a closer look. When you go back and watch that fight with Marie-Eve Dicker, good fighter. I like watching her fight, but she just didn't have the size and strength. And she stayed on her bicycle as much as possible. Before the punch was even coming out of Claressa Shields' pocket, she was already backing up, still getting tagged. You watched the fight with Maricela Conejo, definitely was getting tagged up. A bit undersized for the weight, we could say. She moved up, but she was still ranked in the division. She was next up, but she just was outclassed and outmatched. Um, her fight with um Savannah Marshall was an interesting fight. 160 was the weight limit. Savannah Marshall was said to come into the ring at about 192 to 194. Walking in the ring, Claressa Shields only walked into the ring at 168, which was okay. Um, a really, really good fight, the best fight for Claressa Shields as far as her offensive output. She still didn't get the knockout, but she definitely, you could tell her punches had more steam behind them. So what does that translate to with this weight? She's going to come in at her said natural weight, which is from 165 to about 178 ish, around there. Will she have the power to get the knockout? I think she might. I think she might have the power to get the knockout. And the reason I'm saying that is because Vanessa does not have the defensive abilities, or she has not displayed the defensive abilities to stay out of the line of fire. So I'm guessing with 2-minute rounds, 10 rounds for a women's championship fight, I'm going to take the GOAT, Claressa Shields, fifth round knockout, get that third knockout. It'll probably be a TKO ref stoppage. That's what I'm leaning towards. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be a good fight. The undercard, Michelle Ali Rivera, he'll be fighting on the undercard, and a bunch of other people fighting on this undercard. Now, oh yeah, one more thing I want to mention is in the news. After this past weekend, Amanda Serrano moved up into second place with Christy Martin for the most wins by knockout in women's boxing, and it just blew up a whole deal because Jake Paul called her the GOAT instead of calling her the real deal, because that's what she goes by. But Claressa Shields has been, it's like, that's my name, and I'm gonna show you why. So she gonna have to show us why she's the GOAT. But she's been doing that several times, and it's just been one of those things, trash talking back and forth in the media. Definitely will probably never see Claressa Shields and Amanda Serrano in a fight, because that weight difference is just so far apart. Amanda Serrano is at 140 now, coming up from 126. Claressa Shields is now going up in weight because nobody's willing to pay out the big bucks for her to go down to 147 and potentially have some clashes there with Katie Taylor, Alicia Baumgartner. So, it's a dream fight, but nonetheless, who are the greatest of all time? In my personal opinion, I got Claressa Shields on my Mount Rushmore, and Amanda Serrano, I believe she's done the work to be up there on Mount Rushmore. So let me know what you guys think about this. Drop that comment, hit that like button, follow me on Instagram at All Sports Media TV. We out. Peace.